Hey guys, welcome to the Richmond Wellness Studio. I am Aubrey Eicher, holistic personal trainer, and today I've got a message for you in terms of goals. So what we're going to be discussing is what is a better way to set goals? What are outcome goals? What are process goals? And why are process goals more valuable and more effective than outcome or results-based goals? Okay, so sit back for a couple minutes and let's dive in. So what we're going to be talking about today is a better way to set goals, okay? And specifically within that realm of goal setting, okay? So when we talk goal setting, we're talking goal achievement as well, right? Because who sets a goal not to hit it, right? So specifically within this, we're going to be talking about what process goals are and why they're actually better than outcome goals. And I'll give you definitions for all of this stuff just so we make sure that we're on the same page when I say a process goal or an outcome goal and all that kind of stuff, because there's all kinds of goal stuff floating around out there, goal information on the interwebs. So number one, I want to talk about what an outcome goal is. Let me define this here in my book, in my understanding, in my studies. So an outcome goal is a goal in which success is defined by results. A good example of this is to lose 5 pounds within the next 30 days. Okay, so of course these goals also have a timeline, a deadline, if you will. Who came up with that term, by the way? Deadline, timeline. I prefer timeline. People say deadline. Where did deadbolt come from? Do y'all ever think of these things? Anyway, each goal has a specific timeline attached to it. So a date, a time in which you're saying, I'm gonna complete this by, okay? Lose 5 pounds in the next 30 days. Fit into the dress for the wedding, regardless of if it's your wedding or if you're in somebody else's, or if you're just attending, right? We all wanna look good and feel good. Really, I'd say we wanna feel good more so than we wanna look good, because when we look good, we feel good, okay? But when we feel good, we don't always look good. Anyway, yes, we wanna feel good in whatever we're wearing to the event, in whatever capacity that we are attending. Looking good in your swimsuit this summer. So that could be a timeline of Memorial Day, May 31st. We are in February 19th right now. That's not very far away. That is 3 months. Okay, March, April, May. Good time to start is now if you want to feel good when you're hitting the beach this summer. Okay, so that's what an outcome goal is. An outcome goal is a goal in which success is defined by results. It's tangible. However, it's also big picture. It's not entirely under your control, right? Because there's a lot of variables involved in that. Well, how do we get there? That's really the next question that comes. So there are too many variables with that. We have to break it down into processes. What are the action steps to take you to these specific goals? Okay, and they're gonna look different for each timeline. They're gonna look different for each person in terms of what resources that they have or what you have available to you, be it time, scheduling, budget. You know, if you're working with someone like a trainer with those first examples that I gave there, or taking some sort of, exercise classes, yoga classes, etc. So gear that you need, maybe you need a new pair of running shoes, all of those kinds of things, okay? Variables of resources that each individual is working with. So a process goal, okay, is a goal in which success is defined by the completion of an action item that will take you towards the outcome goal. All right, so it's the action steps, completion of the action steps that are gonna take you to where your outcome goal is, where you say you wanna go, okay? So example being, you wanna lose 5 pounds in 30 days. Okay, let's break that down. Let's exercise 3 times a week. Okay, let's reduce dessert to 1 time a week. Let's get 8 hours of sleep on a nightly basis. Okay, all of those factors are going to help us in our accomplishment of the results or the outcome goal. Now, these are factors that are completely under your control. You can exercise 3 times a week. You can find a way. There's, of course, a handful of arguments in there. But if you make 3 times a goal, if it's a tangible, if you are capable of doing that within your resources and your constructs, then that is within your control versus the outcome goal that we were talking about before. Okay, you can pass on dessert 6 times a week. Okay, and you can really work towards getting 8 hours of sleep a night. Sometimes it takes longer to move some variables around to be able to do that kind of a thing, but you can do it. Okay, now number 3, I want you to commit to a process, a journey, if you will, not necessarily a goal. So for me, for example, I recently signed up for the Pittsburgh Marathon. It is May 6th. Okay, so it's less than 3 months away now. And from signing up for that, I created a training program of running 4 days a week. And I have committed to following this training plan. In fact, after I'm done with this video, I'm gonna go out for a run. I didn't want to do it beforehand because then I'd look all crazy and you'd be like, who is this girl that is completely not put together? Sweaty, hair's all curling out at the sides and not looking cute. I am not one of those people that looks cute when they sweat. I really don't think so, at least. Is anybody? Like, I guess we see it on TV and that's possible, but I've had multiple conversations with my clients and we're like, no, we don't look cute when we sweat. It is what it is, but we're human, so who cares? So committing to process goals versus outcome goals. And what I really want to kind of dig in here too is that I don't want you to save your happiness or your sense of pride or your feelings of success only for that outcome goal. See, you'll obtain that outcome goal if you do the action items that take you there, right? Which are the ones that are under your control. So you can make wins 3 times a week if that's your goal, to exercise 3 times a week in order to lose 5 pounds in 30 days. You can win every day when you get 8 hours of sleep on a nightly basis. That was your action item. You can win every time that you turn down dessert and only have it once a week versus 7, right? And those accomplishing those goals gives that feeling of success, of pride, of happiness, of yes, I'm doing the things. And the good thing about that too is that don't we want to continue to do things that make us feel good, right? Versus, oh man, I want to lose 5 pounds. I have to do this, that, and the other, but I want to lose 5 pounds, but I want to lose 5 pounds, and you get on the scale next week and you haven't lost anything. And you want to, continuously going across this in our head, and it can become a negative spiral where we just feel guilty, like we're not doing the right things that we should to be getting there, or maybe we make drastic measures in order to get there. Don't put the cart before the horse, okay? The horse has to carry the cart. The process goals have to carry the outcome, all right? Number 4, so that is leading into the fact that the process itself is more valuable than the goal. And here's another reason why. When you obtain this goal, then what? Okay, so we hear we should have another goal waiting. Life is peaks and valleys, and when we get to the mountain, when we get to the peak, then there's another peak up there. But if we didn't actually take the time to sit down and say, okay, yes, I do want to accomplish something else, or what that looks like for you, then you can yo-yo, right? And how many times is there still a valley before you get to the next peak? Okay, so committing to a process and saying, this is this is my lifestyle. This is what I do. I exercise 3 times a week, and man, it feels good because I do exercise 3 times a week. I exercise today, and I just continue it because it feels good, and because I said that I was going to do this, and so I'm doing it, and that feels good, and I just keep doing it. Okay, so like that's where you start seeing these people who like, if you've never been the person to feel like, you know, you're not the fitness nut, I used to call it. You're the person who just seems to always be getting their exercise in. They're posting it on Facebook and they're eating healthy and this and that and the other. I guarantee you at one point in their life, they weren't like that. Okay, for me personally, for my experience, I did not really start getting into running and exercising more often and it being a part of my lifestyle, and then eating healthier too and exploring, you know, like what are these different things that we're hearing about throughout the health food industry and all that kind of stuff. I didn't start getting into that until 2010. I started working out in 2007 consistently. But it was a process. It was a process. I just kept going, and the more that I did it, the better that I felt. So it just kind of latched on, and it's now part of me. Like, I feel weird if I don't. I feel icky if I don't. So don't feel like you need to feel like that today, okay? It is a process. You just create it, okay? And finally, I do want to say that goals, outcome goals, are still really important. Okay, they're not absolutely, don't throw them out, okay? They allow us to plan our progress. So the reason why I signed up for the marathon, well, a couple of reasons. One, I really wanted the experience. I've always wanted to do that marathon. And number 2, I wanted to keep myself motivated to run through the colder months. And it helped me to figure out, oh, I could run in the middle of the day. I can change my schedule around a little bit, or I can run at a different time or whatnot. Whereas before, I was putting myself in a box and saying, I'm just not gonna run if it's below 20 degrees outside, and crap, it's 7 degrees this morning, I'm not getting in today, and it just didn't feel good. But they help us, these goals, these outcome goals, help us to create our processes and our systems. So I made that goal for the marathon, and then it helped me to create my plan to help get me there, because even though I've ran 6 marathons, I can't roll out of bed tomorrow and run it. I could probably hoof my way through it, but I would probably come out on the other side with an injury. I would hurt myself, likely. If not, be hurting really, really bad for like the next 4 days. So processes are important. And it might make me hate running at that point too, if I didn't follow a proper process and if it didn't feel good. All of these things are valid. Use everything that you can. If health and fitness and wellness is something that you want to elevate in your life this year, like, use everything that you can possibly find, okay? So those are my thoughts on a better way to set goals. What process goals are and why they're better than outcome goals. We talked about what an outcome goal is, what a process goal is, why you should commit to a process and not a goal, and that the process is more valuable than the goal. But finally, don't throw away the goal. All right, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Still need the baby. It was wonderful sharing with you today. If you have thoughts on this, if you have experiences that you want to share on goal setting and goal achievement and processes and systems that you've created around this kind of stuff, I'd love to hear from you. Please share with me, share in the comments, send me an email, like however you want to do it. I'd love to continue a conversation with you on it. If you have questions, let me know. If you're in a place where you're stuck right now and you're saying, like, I mean, wherever you are on your fitness journey, I've worked with the very beginner to the seasoned athlete. It really doesn't matter, because my skill set falls within working with your individual variables and saying, where is it that you want to go? Where are you today? What are your life variables that we have to obstacle our way around? And how do we get you there? Okay? So I strategically, individually craft each person's plan, each person's program, not cookie cutter. I do have a 12-week program that I am offering right now. It will take you through to May. So Memorial Day, pool's open. It's warmer. It's actually warmer outside right now too. But anyway, it's not bikini weather. It's not swim trunks weather. We're not there yet, but it will be here soon. So if you want to feel better this year than you did last year, or maybe any year before, or if you want to start implementing different habits in your life and changing your lifestyle, reach out to me. I'd love to, in the least, have a conversation with you. And if I can't help today, then maybe I know somebody that can, and I can point you in their direction. So I look forward to talking, and I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day.